All right, guys, it's Wednesday, the 17th of June. We are past halfway in the month, and it's the middle of the week. We've got a great little midweek workout for you. Some of you are going to love it. Some of you are not going to love it. We've got 5 rounds, and we're doing 50 air squats and 100-meter run. 50 air squats, 100-meter run, and we do 1 round every 3 minutes. And we're going to do 5 rounds. So you've got 3 minutes. Let's explain it another way. You've got 3 minutes to perform 50 air squats and a 100-meter run. You should be able to get that done within 2 minutes. Okay? If you're doing 1 squat every second, that's pretty fast. Okay, so you're probably going to do 1 minute 10 seconds to 1 minute 15 seconds, even as slow as maybe up to 1.5 minutes for your 50 air squats, and then 30 seconds to 45 seconds for your 100-meter run. It's not that fast. Come back in, we'll give you 1 minute to 30 seconds rest. And then at the next start of the next 3 minutes, you perform your next round, and you're doing 5 rounds in total. So it will be a 15-minute workout in total. Okay, I think it's easy enough to explain. So what are we going to do? 50 air squats. So a few things we can really focus on your air squats today. We've got lots of warm-up. We've got lots of mobility. We've got like a bit of a bulletproof hip program going a little bit later in the warm-up briefing. We've also got some strength work in the hips that we're going to focus on, some unilateral work. We're going to be looking at some good squat mechanics, some good mobility to prep you for the workout. But what we are focusing on today is hip squats, just normal air squats, feet shoulder width apart. Okay, slight turnout in the feet and pressing the hips back. Squat, stomach tight, shoulders back, press. 1. Remember, what you want is you don't want to see those knees moving first on your air squats. You've got to see this hip pressing back first. So stomach nice and tight, hips press back, knees open, shoulders back, chest up. 1. 2. Now, if you need to move slower to maintain good technique, move slightly slower. So it's hips pressing back, exhale up. 1, hips pressing back, exhale up. 2. If you're more proficient with your movement, you can move slightly faster. You can go a little bit faster. 1, 2. Now I'm focusing on driving the heels, tightening the quads at the top of the movement, and you're getting 1 rep every second. Obviously, the faster you move, the more work, the more the legs are going to go. 50 air squats, nice and fast, nice and hard. Burn the legs, burn the lungs. Run 100 meters. The legs are going to be a little bit wobbly after those 50 air squats, so run it as hard as you can without falling over or tripping on anything. Come back in, rest the remainder of the time. That's round 1. Do 5 rounds in total, and that is the workout. Okay. The only way you can really scale today is by scaling your total reps here down. I want you to stop regardless of where you are. Within your 50, if you get to 30, or so if you get to 1.5 minutes and you're still only on 30 reps, rather stop there. Okay, scale your reps down so your legs aren't so stiff tomorrow. And then if you need to scale your run time down, scale your run time down. I want you to have at least 45 seconds to 30 seconds rest, not less than 30 seconds rest. So you may need to scale your numbers down here, maybe scale your time down on your run. That's your scaling options. Stick around us. Let's go for the warm-up briefing now. All right, guys, so the warm-up for today, we've got a 5-minute run. Use the run. We are doing those fast 100 meters for the workout, so use the run to get running warm. Start with a slow jog, speed up. If you're not running, you can skip. Okay, so if you're not going to do a 100-meter run for your workout, you can do a 30-second skip or some line jumps or something over that. So jumping just to keep your heart rate going for that 30 seconds of work. So you can do either run, row, skip. On the side, just star jumps. Then we go for some bulletproof hips. What we're looking for the bulletproof hips, we both want mobility and we want strength both in that lateral position, glutes firing, hips nice and tight. So we can do 10 meters side shuffle. We do a pigeon stretch, which is going to open up the sides, and we do a lateral leg swings, which will add a little bit more mobility through the hips. Okay, so for your side shuffle, if you've got one of those little bands that you can put around your knees, put a band, so we're doing a banded side shuffle, or we're just going to do a normal side shuffle. You're going to sit back, nice and deep, press the hips back, you drive the knees open, and what we're looking for is this to work. So you just press out sideways, press, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your feet to come too close together, just half a step. You can do 10 meters in that direction, then you're coming back, 10 meters in this direction. Stay nice and low, stay nice and low. The lower you go, the more it's going to burn. Like I said, if you've got that band, put the band around the knees, and then you're stepping, stretch, step, stretch if you've got the band around the knees. Then we're going to come back and we're going to go into a pigeon stretch. So the pigeon stretch, what we're looking for is to get some external rotation in the hip, get a nice long stretch in the glute. So from there, step back, knee to floor, chest to floor, and we're going to allow this knee to fall out the side. So you want to put your hand there. Depending on how mobile you are, depends on how far you get to go out the side there. Oh, that may be enough. Okay, or you can go a little bit more, and you get your knee to the floor. Knee to the floor, and then we're just going to sit at the bottom there, and make sure the knee feels okay, all right? Sometimes that twisting to the side, some people don't like that twist to the side, and we're just working hips, pressing, push the side. I want a good minute on the one side. Then you're gonna change, do a minute on the other side, and I want you to do 2 rounds. Okay, do it on the side. There's quite a long time in the stretch, just hanging out there. You should feel the work in this glute in the rear here. Okay. Once you've done your pigeon stretch, we're going to go to some lateral leg swings. So you've done both sides of pigeon stretch. You want to get this hip capsule nice and groovy. So from here, body stays upright. You're going to pump across, up the side, cross, up the side, cross, up the side. It doesn't have to be super high, but the more flexible you are, obviously, the bigger your swing starts to go. So it's an internal rotation, external. Make sure the knee, supporting knee is good. Make sure the hips are good. Make sure the low back is okay. If you need to go for smaller swings, go for smaller. If you don't like the side to side, then just, even on one side, just go backs and forwards and just get that hip nice and open. Easy swings, backs and forwards. Don't let the body go too much. Try and maintain this upright position, body nice and still as well. Once you've done your lateral leg swings, do an opposite leg, do a second round. 10-meter side shuffle with a band or just with the knees, as low as you can. Back into the pigeon stretch, left and right. Back into lateral leg swings. That's going to keep your hips nice and warm. Then we've got some good strength work here for these object step-ups or box step-ups. So if you've got a box or if you've got a chair or something that you can step up on, we're going to use that. And let me just get something quickly. Right, so your box step-ups, what we're going to do is either with a box or a chair or a step. Preferably the higher the box, the better, but we need to make sure that you're comfortable both in your knees and your hips. So you're going to start, we're looking for about 8 reps. Start unweighted to begin with. Make sure the hips back, pressing up, hop, press up. 1, if you want to go laterally, you can go laterally. You can also do just a normal forward step up. Hop, stomach tight, up, press, hips press back. What I don't want to see is the body falling forward and keep that stomach nice and engaged. So as you press through the hip and through the heel, stomach engages, midline's nice and tight. Hop, press. 1, hop, press, 2, hop, press, 3. First round, do 8 reps on the left, 8 reps on the right. Focus on that hip firing, focus on that midline, staying nice and tight. The second round, we're going to try and take that box a little bit higher. So if you can get the box higher, take the box higher, okay, and you work on a slightly higher box. If you can't get higher boxes, we're going to start adding some weight. So either 5-liter jug in the left, 5-liter bottle of water in the right. That adds a good 10 kilograms. If you've got some dumbbells or some kettlebells or some weights, you can use weights. Now you can either start low and stay low, but add more weight every single round. Okay, so now you start adding some weights on. Press up, press, 8 reps on the left. Press up, 8 reps on the right. Put some heavier weights on. Put some more weights on, heavier kettlebell, extra 5-liter bottle of water, and now do a bit more weight. Ultimately, what you're looking to do is to try and get as much work to those hips, either by scaling up the weight, adding weight, or by scaling up the height of the box to increase the difficulty. If you need to do 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds, that's fine. Probably don't need to do more than 4 or 5 rounds. That's your strength work today. Get the hips firing, get the glutes firing, make sure the stomach stays tight, the work doesn't go to back on the step up. That is the strength work. Then we're going to last little bit is going to do some good prep work for running and for all those air squats that we're going to do. So we're looking for some high knees. That's going to be a bit of a running work. We're doing a Samson and a lunge stretch, which will both help with your run as well as your squat mobility. We do some long lunge, some boot stretches, some alternating warrior poses, dynamic frog stretches. So mostly squat mobility on the side, okay? So the first one, high knees. You can start with just pulling the knee up, 1, up, 2. If you feel warm, then you start doing some knee high. So 1 knee high, knee high, knee high, knee high on the side, or even 1, 2, 3, 4 on the knees up. Okay, knees high. Then we're going to go into a Samson stretch with a lunge. So arms up, stomach tight, press, stop, press. 1, press through the arms, hop, press. 2, hop, press. 3, Samson stretches. 10 or 5 in that direction, 5 in the other direction with your Samson stretches. We're going to do a long lunge. So from there, we're going to step forward, press up the side, drop the hips down, back leg nice and straight, feet together, stand. Step forward, hands, drop, backs and forwards, hold for a while, open up the front of the hips, knees out the side, feet together, stand. Okay, going this way. Step forward, hands to floor, back leg straight, backs and forwards, knees out to the side, step forward, stand. That's going to be your long lunge stretch. From that, we're going to do bootstrap squats or bootstrap stretch. So we're going to hold the ankles, top of the foot, nice stretch of the hamstrings, and you're going to push your shoulders back, drop down to a squat, push your knees open, and we're sitting nice and deep. And we stretch. Now go 1, 2, 3 at the bottom of your squat, straight leg, stretch, 1, 2, 3, push your knees open, 1, 2, 3, straight leg stretch, 1, 2, 3, push your knees open, drop the hips down as deep as you can, 1, 2, 3, straight legs, 1, 2, 3. Take your time with all of these, okay? I know I may be running through them pretty quickly now, but take your time. You don't have to rush them. It's not, the intention is not to get your heart rate up. The intention is to get your mobility and range of movement through the hips. Next, I'm going to do a warrior stretch, so an alternating warrior stretch. So back into a squat position, same as that bottom of that bootstrap stretch. I'm going to keep the hips as low as you can. You're going to push the knees open, and from there, I'm going to rotate one hand towards the ceiling. Deep inhale. Up, 2. Drop nice and deep. Stretch. 1, 2, 3. Nice and deep. 1, 2, 3. Take your time. 1, 2, 3. Alternating warrior stretch. And the last one, dynamic frog stretch. So again, we're trying to get those hips as deep as possible. So you're going to start, you're going to bring your hands forward, drop, and drop into a squat. Knees open, hold. Now we're going to go backwards. Hands on the floor, press, back, walk your hands back into a squat, and you sit. Hands forward, hold. Nice and deep, push your hips open. Hands back into the floor, push backwards. Walk your hands back, sit, squat. So every position as you move backs and forwards, you're trying to get a little bit deeper. Press, hands onto the floor. Press, nice and deep, dynamic frog stretch. Nice and easy. If your legs aren't comfortable with this, if your knees aren't comfortable, find something else that you can stretch. Quad stretch. Okay, you can sit even in a froggy pose or butterfly position, and you're just working your mobility inside your legs. Oh, try and get down, chest towards the feet. It's an option for your froggy stretch, as well as with the other stretches as well. Okay, guys, that's going to be your mobility. Take your time all the way through. I think doing one round of that would probably be enough if you take it nice and slow. Then, a little bit of prep work for the workout. One round, 30 air squats. Try and get your timing. Okay, see how long it's going to take you to get your 30 air squats. Find a good pace. If you can go faster with a good pace, all the way down, all the way up, hips locked out for every air squat. Do 30 air squats. 100-meter run, hit it nice and hard. Come back in, check your time. Okay. If you're taking longer than 2.5 minutes to complete all of that, you need to scale that down further. That should probably take you about 2 minutes for 30 air squats and 100. Okay. Then I want you to do one round of 50 air squats and 100 meters. Time yourself. How long is it going to take you? Right. Based on that, do you need to go faster on your 50 air squats, 100 meter, because you need to work harder to get back in time so you can rest for longer, or was that already like a max effort, in which case you need to either drop your reps down or drop your run distance down so you can be back in time to get that 30-second rest for your workout. Choose your workout, set your clock. Every 3 minutes, do 1 round. And that's the middle of your Wednesday workout. Have fun, guys. Tomorrow's Thursday, and we'll see you for the workout then.